Hello there, and welcome to the weekly Asylum and Immigration Reform Update, where I share with you 5 recent stories of interest to asylum seekers and those who want to stay current on immigration news. This week, we're discussing Trump appoints immigration hardliners to lead immigration enforcement agencies. Texas studies show undocumented immigrants bring economic benefits to the state. Missouri lawmakers propose paying residents to report undocumented immigrants. Biden expanded private immigration detention despite poor conditions and deaths. Trump's deportation plans threaten immigrants who entered legally through Biden's parole program. I'm Brian Manning, and I used to be an asylum officer with the government, but now, as an asylum lawyer, I help immigrants all over the country to secure their future in America through asylum. It's my pleasure to bring you asylum and immigration reform updates each week, right here on the Political Asylum Lawyers YouTube channel. Okay, let's get to the news. First up, former President-elect Donald Trump announced 2 key immigration enforcement nominations on Thursday, selecting Rodney Scott to lead Customs and Border Protection and Caleb Vitello as Acting Director of Immigration and Customs Enforcement. Scott, who previously served as Border Patrol Chief during Trump's first term until being removed by the Biden administration, has been an outspoken critic of current immigration policies. Scott oversaw controversial actions including tear gas deployment at the Mexican border and federal agent deployment during Portland protests. Vitello, a longtime immigration and customs enforcement official, will oversee Trump's planned deportation efforts. The appointments signal Trump's intention to reinstate strict immigration policies from his previous term, pushing them even further this time around. Scott was among former Homeland Security officials who publicly endorsed Trump, praising his willingness to implement border security recommendations from career professionals. And next up, for update number 2. A 2006 Texas State Comptroller study found that undocumented immigrants contributed more to Texas's economy than they cost the state, a finding officials have strategically avoided updating for 18 years as it contradicts anti-immigration rhetoric. The report estimated that deporting 1.4 million undocumented residents would have cost Texas $17.7 billion in gross domestic product. While state Republican leaders often characterize immigration as a burden on taxpayers, subsequent research by nonprofits and universities has supported the original findings. Texas currently hosts approximately 1.6 million undocumented residents, representing 11% of the nation's immigrant population. The Perryman Group's 2016 analysis concluded that undocumented Texans generated $11.8 billion for the state after accounting for public service costs. Despite pledges to update the study, the state comptroller's office has not conducted new research. All right, time for our third immigration update. A Missouri state legislator has proposed a controversial bill that would offer residents $1,000 rewards for reporting undocumented immigrants to authorities. The legislation, introduced by Senator-elect David Gregory, would create an online reporting system and establish a certified bounty hunter program specifically targeting immigrants without proper documentation. The bill is one of 7 immigration-focused proposals in the Missouri legislature. The measure comes amid ongoing legal debates over state authority in immigration matters, traditionally a federal domain. The Biden administration is currently challenging similar state-level enforcement efforts in Texas, while the Supreme Court previously struck down comparable Arizona legislation. The proposal emerges as President-elect Donald Trump promises widespread deportations upon taking office. Other Republican proposals in Missouri include new immigration-related criminal penalties and fines for cities with sanctuary policies. And moving right along, update number 4. The Biden administration has extended contracts with private immigration detention facilities despite widespread criticism of conditions and calls for their closure, according to reports. Immigration detention has increased under Biden from 14,195 to nearly 39,000 people, with Congress approving $3.4 billion for detaining 41,500 people daily in fiscal year 2024. Federal inspections have revealed medical care shortages, sanitation violations, and improper solitary confinement practices across facilities. 10 deaths have occurred in immigration and customs enforcement custody in 2024, with 9 in private facilities. Democratic senators have urged the administration to phase out private detention, citing documented abuses. However, the government has renewed contracts at several controversial sites, including facilities in New Mexico, Florida, and Virginia. This expansion occurs as President-elect Donald Trump promises increased deportations and detention. And finally, our 5th immigration update for this week. President-elect Donald Trump's deportation plans could particularly impact immigrants who entered legally through Biden's humanitarian parole program, analysts say. Over 1 million people, including Venezuelans, Nicaraguans, Haitians, and Cubans, gained temporary U.S. entry through these pathways. The Biden administration has declined to renew parole for approximately 200,000 recipients, leaving many vulnerable when their 2-year permits expire. While some parolees qualify for temporary protected status, others face uncertain futures. Despite Trump's characterization of parolees as illegal, all entered lawfully. The government possesses detailed personal information about these immigrants, potentially making them early targets for deportation. Though Biden could still extend additional protections before leaving office, his administration appears hesitant to take bold immigration actions during the transition. And that wraps up this week's immigration news. If you want to win asylum in the United States, then you should call my office today. We help people all over the country, so doesn't matter where you are. Call us now to schedule an asylum strategy session so that we can help you secure your future in America through asylum. Again, I'm Brian Manning, and it's an honor to serve you in your immigration journey.